Okay, Classical Gas. Song that is loved by guitarists everywhere. Played by many, performed by many, covered by tons of people on YouTube. Written by Mason Williams in 1968. Originally performed with an orchestra, and then a couple of years after the initial release, Mason Williams did an acoustic only version, and that's the version that I think most guitarists are wanting to play. It is a song due to him changing it throughout the years, which he has every right in the world to do that. It's his song. Other people, the way they play it, they might have learned it by ear or using one of the many incorrect musical scores you can download and purchase. There's so many errors when you compare them to the original version on Handmade, the album Handmade. So anyway, that's the version I feel like that is the most relevant, and the version that I would assume that most guitar players would want to learn. So anyway, that's what I plan on doing here, is showing how to make a few changes if you've already learned the song. And if you haven't learned the song, this is a good place to start to make sure you don't waste hours and days of your time trying to learn it and come to find out later that it's not completely matching up what you're hearing Mason Williams do. So this video and others that I'll make in the future following this one are aimed at helping people guitarists to play it correctly, to learn it correctly. This video here, I think we'll just focus mainly on the intro. I'll play through that first, and then we'll break down the different parts, and I'll point out some of the incorrect ways that the areas that people play incorrectly. Okay, here we go. Alright. It's in A minor, of course, finger picked. I'll just go ahead and run through the intro right quick. Okay, that was okay. Of course, my timing wasn't exactly like Mason Williams's was, but he sort of played this in a free time anyway, and it's totally at a different tempo than the rest of the song, and there's a lot of dynamics and retards and pausing. So anyway, let's go ahead and examine what I did there. Okay, now if you've already started learning this song, or if you already have a version of it, you know you start off with the A minor chord and you finger pick. You have your thumb on the A string and your first finger on your G string and your second finger on your B string. So what you're going to do here is you're going to pick all three of those notes together, just like that. A, G, and B. 2, 3, and 5. A, G, and B. B, G, and A, ever how you want to say it. With your thumb, your index finger and your middle finger. I call it your thumb first and second. Okay, so here we go. And then, as soon as you do that, your second note, your second one is going to be the G string open, or not open, but on the second fret there of your A minor. So G by itself is what I meant to say. So here we go. And then B again by itself. So let the A ring out throughout these first notes. Okay. So after you hit your B string by itself, you take your ring finger, your fretting hand here, and you press down the G note here, your low E string, string 6, and you play your G and B strings open this time. So it's sort of a roll there, a slow roll, sort of accent that B string, so it sort of stands out just a little. And then right after that, you play your F sharp and then E open. Okay, so let's review. Now, after you play your E string open, you play that G and B string, a small roll there again, right after. So, okay. Now, you have your A minor chord shape here. Now, you kind of gonna want to stay, close to that, because even though you go into an E minor sound and a G sound and other sounds, other progressions, chord progression, you want to kind of stay around that because a lot of the notes are right there. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Whoa! All right, here we go. And then, see what I mean? Even though you're still in an E minor sound, go ahead and press down both of those, that D string and G string, which is part of your A minor shape, and then hit your G string, second fret, then lift them up, and then you're going to play A, G, A, D, G. So, you got it, I hope. Let that that open E, low E, low A, stand out in that. So, you hear the notes that I'm accenting. Now, after that, you're going to go. Hit your A, G, B string open and hammer on onto the first fret of your B string. So you hammer on once, go hit your G string with your ring finger on the second fret, still on the second fret. A, G, B, C, A, B, C. to the G. You hit the G and B strings open again. Pause. Now most people get this part pretty good. I've seen a couple of people even teach this part a little bit wrong, which amazes me. But, you know, to each his own. But most people get this part pretty good. So here it is, very slow. So the second time, you hit the G, B open, and then you mash down the D and G string, on the G string here, 2, open, open, hammer on, B open, and then the first 3 notes of your E minor, A, D, and G strings, open A, G, D second, G second. So, don't want to spend too much time on this, but I want to make sure that people have the feel of it. Pay attention to my accenting, and don't just run through it. You know, you want it to sound a little bit dramatic. The whole intro sounds like that Mason is just getting ready to just explode on something, and he's holding back. You want it to build up to that main part of the song. So okay, now the next part of the intro. This is the part where people start choosing notes that they sound right, but they're not. Sort of dance around the true notes of the song with other notes that sound right, sound good, but aren't the notes that Mason Williams used. Now here it is. All but that last note. So we have a G, open D, open G, G, D, G, A, open D, G second fret. You want to use your ring finger right here and have your middle finger available to go straight to the G string on your second fret. So and then spin this around, catch your A string second fret, and put your pinky here on your B string third fret, and then hit 5th, 3rd, 2nd strings. So A, G, D, D on the B string, B, C, D. So And that leads into the C change that follows. Now, many people, they go, and that's just plain wrong. I'm sorry. Sounds nice, and a million people do it, but it is not the way Mason Williams did it in the beginning. Now, he may have done it that way at some live recording in the future, because maybe he was sick and tired of the way he had been playing it, who knows. But that is not the way this original song was performed. It's not the note selection. It is not. It's not that. It's. So. Now, you have your pinky already here, so you're going to want to leave that there and just go from here to here. Now, if you're not used to doing that, going from this G5 shape to this C, whatever that is, shape, C9, then, you know, you just practice doing this. So. And you want this finger here already. For one thing, it's an anchor. And another thing, you got to play that note anyway, very soon. So here you play, when you get to your C, you play your A string on the 3rd fret, making your C chord there, and your little E open. So, and then followed by your G string with your index finger. I use my ring finger to hit that. I mean, you could use your middle finger, but I prefer to just go ahead and use the ring finger. Not that I don't use my middle finger on the little E string in certain areas of this song, but for now, there's where you hit your D note. Then go to your A chord, A minor chord, straight for that. So you have C and E open, A third, your A string and your open E, G string, B string, and then you want to go to your A minor shape and hit A, G, and B strings. You can just use these 3 right here, and then hammer on, and then put your pinky back on the 3rd fret of the B string. So it's, and play that note separately. And then hit your D string by itself, 2nd fret, and then your B string, and let this just ring out the whole time. Okay. Now this is where it changes to the main part of the song. Our next lesson is going to cover it. This part right here, people mess up on it too. I mean, they play it incorrectly. I mess up on it all the time, and I'm 99.9999% sure that I'm playing it pretty much just like Mason Williams played it originally. except for the mistakes, of course. See you next time. I hope you got something out of it. Especially pay attention to the second part of the intro. If you want to hit that G string, I mean, it's not the end of the world. I don't think Mason hit it. I think he just... went straight to the C. But maybe not. The main thing is you don't go. You know, I spent an hour learning that in the beginning, trying to learn this song by following other people's instructions. Following the instructions from the sheet music, the tablature. Everybody's got an opinion, and you know, it's not always right. But you listen to it, you slow it down, you listen to it carefully, you try to play it right, you compare it. Eventually, if you got an ear, you'll discover that, wait, something's not quite right there. And if you get to looking around, you might find others out there. Might not be sharing how they're doing it, but doing covers, certain covers. And you find somebody that, hey, he's got a little bit more of the picture there than the mainstream. So, and this song is just full of that. And we're going to go through it. We're going to help everybody everywhere improve on the original version of Classical Gas, performed and written, of course, by Mason Williams, one of the greatest songs for the acoustic guitar ever composed. It's the epic, easy listening pop classical hit that ever came out of the 20th century. Easily, hands down, as far as guitar instrumental goes. And it's just, it's totally epic. Alright, signing off for now. Stay tuned for more videos. I'm a busy man. I'll get to it as I can. Please like, subscribe, add comments. I don't claim to be perfect at this. If you see an error, I want to know about it. And if you can validate that, if you can qualify your correction, I will definitely take it in consideration. And if it merits an adjustment or learning something new on my part, I will do that and mention it in the next video. So anyway, hope you benefited from this. Those of you that are doing the, which you might as well be doing that because you're doing it wrong. I hope that you'll consider and he does do that. He does do that. He does hit that. So, glad I didn't end just yet. I mess that up a lot. Okay. All right. I hope that that those of you who have eyes to see and ears to hear will recognize that that is the way to do it. So, signing off, It's all good, man, and peace out.